decisions. For example, President Biden's budget request proposes a substantial increase for the NCI, but it flat funds research for Alzheimer's disease and diabetes, which collectively affect more than 40 million Americans. If confirmed, how will you balance your background in cancer research and your leadership at NCI with the need to be fair in evaluating agency-wide priorities?
Oh, thank you for that question, Senator Collins. And
sharing their deep pain. There was not a dry eye in the room. Many of these people didn't know if their relatives were dead or alive. Some of them said, I wonder which is better. They just knew that they were missing and taken by wretched Hamas fighters. It breaks your heart.
Folks, thank you so much for your support, and as a way for me to show my appreciation, here is a free $50 Amazon gift card. All you gotta do to claim the gift card is redeem this code in the Amazon checkout aisle, and then you get $50 off any of your next purchase. So once again, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and here's the most important stimulus news. Social Security payments worth as much as $1,800 are going to be sent out, and the Social Security Administration has confirmed new deposit dates for the next batch of payments. Officials even say that billions of dollars in monthly payments have been overpaid, forcing many people to pay back their benefits. So, in August, the average Social Security payment made to retired workers was around $1,800, and as can be expected, another round of payments to be worth more than $60 million will be made. While not all will receive $1,800, the median payment was around $1,500 as well. Those born between the 1st and 11th receive payments on the second Wednesday of the month, so the next deposit date is on October 11th. But lawmakers in the Republican Study Committee have proposed to increase the age for full retirement benefits from 67 to 69 over an 8-year period. More specifically, the age at which retirees can actually get their money. Under the current law, these early retirees only receive about 70% of their full benefit, and under the bill, they will receive 61% of their full benefit, a reduction of approximately 13%. The harm from increasing the retirement age would fall disproportionately on low and middle, as they rely most heavily on Social Security. And according to Yahoo News, 2 senior officials have said the U.S. Federal Reserve should proceed carefully when deciding whether or not to hike the interest rates to bring down inflation. The Fed has already hiked its key lending rate 11 times in 18 months, bringing inflation down sharply. It is trying to achieve a so-called soft landing in which it tackles stubborn inflation without tanking the U.S. economy. Although inflation remains stuck above 2%, the labor market has so far remained historically strong, and economic growth appears resilient, raising the chances of a soft landing. Even the chair said that the Fed's rate-setting committee is in a position to proceed carefully in assessing the extent of an additional policy firming that may be necessary. And even the Dallas president, the Fed president, said that we should carefully evaluate economic and financial developments when deciding if to back up another hike. The comments from 2 members of the rate-setting Open Market Committee said that Jerome Powell has urged them to follow a data-dependent path on interest rates. So, the 2 policymakers highlighted the recent increase in yields, which Jefferson said may reflect investors' assessment that the underlying momentum is stronger than before. As a result, they say a restrictive stance on monetary policy may be needed for longer than expected to calm down inflation.
To double production capacity just to avoid further reductions in the fleet. Our allies' significant investments in shipbuilding are welcome steps that will improve our mutual security. But if the United States...
Our administration has invested, and this has been a total game changer. In the time we have been in office, we are now on track to invest $1 trillion in addressing the climate crisis around adaptation and resilience and investing in a clean energy economy.
Wow. Wow.
And I will tell you, we are making a particular effort to also acknowledge that while the climate crisis impacts everyone, it does not do so equally. Because when you look at how the effect...
Some say that if the White House and Congress do not cut inflation causing government spending, the results could be catastrophic. And in 2020, during the height of the crisis, the former president and a Democratic-led Congress spent vast amounts of money to keep the economy afloat. But can this happen again? And will Joe Biden send out the 4th stimulus check right now? Because people are waiting for it and people need the stimulus. Important news, inflation is beginning to increase nationwide. Experts say this will affect the monthly benefit boost that is coming to you guys next month. In fact, the Energy Department has also issued its final efficiency rules for residential furnaces, which in projects will actually save Americans $1 billion in heating expenses over the year. And the rule marks the first update to furnace efficiency standards since 2007. Under the update rule, residential gas-powered furnaces, the source of about 20% of annual home energy, will provide at least 95% fuel efficiency, converting almost all the gas they consume into heat. The Parliament actually projected the updated rule will result in 22 million fewer metric tons of carbon emissions and 4 million tons of methane emissions. The Secretary of Energy even said that the Energy Department is continuing to review and finalize energy standards for household appliances like residential furnaces to lower costs for working families by reducing energy use and slashing harmful pollutants in homes across the nation. Heating compromises most U.S. households' largest single utility, costing an average of just $700 every single month. And according to the Huffington Post, Joe Biden's landmark Inflation Reduction Act is packed with billions of dollars worth of credits and rebates for purchasing electric vehicles and making home improvements to save energy. According to lawmakers, if you're a low and middle income homeowner looking for a fuel covering costs, then you'll have to wait until next year for a rebate. Democratic representatives and at least 65 other Democrats sent a letter demanding that her agency, the Energy Secretary's agency that is, revise the rulebook to allow states to make rebates retroactively available to everybody. The issue centers on a nearly $9 billion pot in funding in the IRA meant to help homeowners buy electric appliances and upgrade homes to cut back on energy usage. The federal government is also set to give the home money to states and distribute them directly. Despite months of back and forth with the Energy Department, Huffman said the agency has so far refused to change the rulebook, with fuel prices steadily coming again nationwide. Southern Californians are experiencing some of the worst pain at the pump, thanks to a string of issues at local refineries. A move by California Gavin Newsom actually made a switch to winter blend fuel earlier than usual, but it could bring relief within weeks. According to AAA, from Wednesday and Thursday, the average price of a gallon of gas in California surged by nearly 14 cents. By Friday, the average was actually $6. Now, first of all, getting a refinery back to producing gas takes time, even if there are problems fixed. As a result, the gas supply in California has been hit hard, and experts estimate that the missing fuel volume could be in the millions of gas. This could actually cause some problems for people who are trying to receive stimulus.
Long time sometimes. And when it's born out of something that has been anything from a mistake to a vicious intent, you know, it varies in degrees. I'm not saying I know the same, but I just, look, I mean.
The program sets restrictions on both net and gross monthly income broken down to household size. But the barrier to acquiring food aid in Michigan has been lowered. It is a Governor Gwich'in Whitmer, signed a bipartisan bill removing the asset test as a requirement to receive SNAP benefits. And according to the Michigan Executive Office of the Governor, the move will offer greater financial security to those who need it the most.